Hello, welcome to Just the Dis. My name is Brian, and we talk about Blu-rays here. And for today's little episode, we are going to be talking about a little movie called The Wicker Man. And The Wicker Man is one of those films that is an absolutely bona fide and, dare I say, notorious cult classic at this point. I think I first discovered it via Danny Perry's cult movie books, and for a long time it was unavailable on disc, and then there was a nice Anchor Bay. I don't know if anybody remembers the coffin sort of wood box edition when they used to do their... Anyway, so then there's been, that DVD from Anchor Bay. There's been a... You know what? I don't have it handy, but there was an import that I had. But now we kind of have like a definitive edition here. And this definitive edition comes from Imprint Films in Australia, and it is epic. Truly an epic set here, I gotta say. Very impressed with this set. It's a 3-disc box. Comes with, the standard Imprint box set deal, and I love their box sets. They're very well constructed, and you have 3 discs inside here. Very nice heavy cardboard, just really, really nice stuff. And inside that we have our final cut, we have our theatrical cut and director's cut, and then we have the special features and the soundtrack. And there's also another director's cut and standard. I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, this is an epic set, like I said. Let's talk about the movie for a second, though. For those that don't know, this is, like I said, it's a truly huge cult film. Originally released as a second feature to Don't Look Now, the Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie movie. Wasn't well received at the time, sort of a prototypical example of a cult film in terms of its commercial failure. I think it got some good notices, but it just did not connect with its audience. It was cut down before release. There's lots of they go into that in the features here, and that's why we have multiple cuts to talk about ultimately. Written by Anthony Schaffer, who wrote things like Sleuth. But he wanted to do something in the horror genre, and he wanted to do something, a film on the nature of sacrifice, if you will. And Christopher Lee was looking to break out away from his work with Hammer, the Dracula stuff, and at least that kind of horror. So he was really open to this, and director Robin Hardy felt the same way, wanted to do something other than Hammer-style horror, as much as he liked those films. They were able to cast Edward Woodward in the role as a police officer who is investigating the disappearance of this girl on this small island called Summer Isle. And Edward Woodward at the time was part of a TV show, British secret agent TV show, I believe, called Callan. And he would go on later to star in The Equalizer, which is a show I watched a lot as a kid and liked. So the idea behind the movie is that basically Edward Woodward's character... Is he on any of these? No. He flies out to this island, and depending on the cut of the movie that you're watching, you either see, in the theatrical cut, it's just him in a seaplane flying into Summer Isle, greeted very coldly by the locals. It's one of your standard, very suspicious town kind of places. They immediately are like, you can't even land here without written permission. He's like, well, I'm a cop and I'm investigating a disappearance, so that supersedes your private property stuff. But they're immediately weird to him, and when he goes to the inn the first night, there's lots of weirdness there. Again, depending on the cut you're watching, you may see Christopher Lee that first night outside the inn window that Edward Woodward's staying in. It's a very interesting scene, and I'm not used to seeing it because actually it is one that was not part of the theatrical version of the film. So it's neat to see that stuff. That's in the final cut and the director's cut. And the final cut is the version that was available in the import that I had. But there's so much more happening on this disc, and I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, he's investigating this disappearance, and weird things start happening on this island. He meets Christopher Lee. He's a very interesting character, and this movie is so influential that you probably already know the ending. It's gone on to be highly influential on other films like Midsommar, Kill List, Hot Fuzz, others. Yeah, there's this sense on the island that you get right away that the fruits and vegetables are not as productive as they once were, because when Edward Woodward goes to eat his meal at the inn, everything's out of a can, and it's gross. But anyway, so let's talk about the difference of the cuts. The theatrical cut is, I want to say, the shortest version of it. I think we have the run times on here. Yes. Actually, no. I don't have the run times in front of me here. But I almost memorized them. I was looking at. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, so for instance, on the final cut, your runtime is 1 hour and 33 minutes. The theatrical cut is 1 hour and 28 minutes, and the director's cut is the longest cut. That's 1 hour and 41 minutes. And again, this has that director's cut, and it has a commentary, but it's a really great cult film, and you'll see why it's so influential when you watch it. Great performance by Christopher Lee. Great performance by Edward Woodward as this ultimately very uptight, sort of religious type guy who's coming into this pagan community and is clearly things are not going to go well. You know, that's how it looks. But okay, so let's talk about features. Final cut version here. We have audio commentary by BFI film historian Vic Pratt and Will Fowler. We have Burnt Offering, The Cult of the Wicker Man documentary from 2001. We have Worshipping the Wicker Man featurette. We have The Music of the Wicker Man featurette. We have an interview with director Robin Hardy. We have Critics' Choice interview with director Robin Hardy and actor Christopher Lee by Sir Sterling Smith from 1979. A restoration comparison and trailers and stuff. So this alone is a great disc, right? So that's just one part, 1/3 of what you get. So then you've got your theatrical and director's cuts. Not as many features here, but one that I absolutely love is so you get high 1080p versions of the theatrical and director's cut, utilizing standard definition material for some additional footage. So be aware of that. Audio commentary by film critic historian Kim Newman and author Sean Hogan on the theatrical cut. Great commentary. They would have you believe that you don't even have to watch the extra material, that you don't need it. So it's interesting to hear the director and Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward obviously missed that footage, but Kim Newman and Sean Hogan make a case that you don't need it, that the film was great in its original cut down theatrical version. So it's for you to decide, but there's enough here for you to be able to do that, which I love. So then you get your bonus disc, bonus features disc, and your soundtrack disc. And lots of stuff here. Director's cut in standard def with optional audio commentary by Christopher Lee, Edward Woodward, and director Robin Hardy. That is Mark Kermode moderating. That's great commentary. And making the director's cut commentary featurette, that's like 16 minutes of it, the beginning 16 minutes, and that's great. Wicker Man Q&A 2013, folks musicians discuss the Wicker Man. X Ask the Wicker Man documentary from 1998. The Wicker Man Enigma documentary from 2001. Willow's Song and the Liberation of Eve, The Wicker Man, Sexual Revolution, Counterculture, and Satanic Feminism, video essay by Kat Ellinger. Very cool, talking about witchcraft and stuff like that. Very neat video essay by her. Forged Folklore, The Fakery of the Wicker Man, video essay by Adam Scoville from 2022. That's brand new. Music of the Wicker Man, interview with author David Huckville. and Golden Bough interview with author David Huckvale on symbolism in The Wicker Man. Robert Reed on The Wicker Man. The Willow Song, promo video by Robert Reed featuring Angahard Bryn, TV spots, radio spots, and the original motion picture soundtrack disc. And this movie has a lot of music in it. Robin Hardy has called it a musical. I want to say it's like 13 songs or something in it. And they're folk songs. They're adapted folk songs. They really help give this extra creepiness to the movie. So it's all there, and you get your soundtrack disc. So this is just a really, really great package from Imprint. Another wonderful job from them. It is a little expensive, but in my mind, worth it. And if you're a fan of this movie, you will want to be picking this up. Checking out on Amazon if you don't want to import it from them direct, or import CDs, or even Diabolic may still have copies. So high recommend for me for the Wicker Man Blu-ray set from Imprint. Just a gorgeous set. One of my favorite disc sets of the year, for sure. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.